welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Michelle, and here on my channel I am on a weight loss journey to lose 65 pounds, and I post a new weight loss video every single Wednesday. And I'm also on another journey to get out of $50,000 worth of debt. So I post a new budgeting, lifestyle, motherhood video every single Sunday. So if any of that sounds like something you might be interested in, please subscribe so you don't miss when I post a new video. So by the title of this video, I'm sure you already know what I'm about to say, but I quit my job. So if you've been following my debt-free journey, I'm very vocal about how much money I make. I post my personal monthly budget and my budget report, my debt snowball update every single month. So the fact that I do share my actual personal income here on the internet, I figured there was no way I could leave my job and not say anything. So obviously on my budgets, you're going to be seeing that my income is going to be different. So I'm very open about my income, and that was one of the major reasons that I did end up leaving my job. So if you don't know, I was a medical assistant at an urgent care near me in Northern California, and I have worked there for 6 years. So this was a huge step for me. Honestly, when I first started there, I loved my job. I loved everything about it. I loved the fact that I worked 4/10, so I worked 10 hours a day, but I only worked 4 days a week, so I had 3 days off. Like, that was the perfect schedule for me, and they were all 3 days off in a row, so it was great. I loved what I did. I love the people I work with. However, throughout the years, things changed, and I want to say for the past 2 years, I have been very unhappy at my job. For the most part, I still love what I do, or what I did, but the environment was getting extremely toxic. I would try to go to work as positive as possible, but without fail, pretty much every single day, within like an hour, I was already in a terrible mood. Everyone around me was just so negative, complaining constantly. Management over the years has changed and gotten pretty bad, to be honest. Like, it was pretty obvious that you're just a number. They don't really care about you. And the people that I worked with for years were quitting. At the urgent care that I worked at, we had a very high patient volume, and we were short-staffed as it was because they weren't hiring new people. And when they did hire new people, they were hiring people that didn't want to work, and they would hire people that would quit within like a month. And so we would waste our time training them, and then they would leave. And on top of that, we were getting people that would call in every single week. So on top of being short, the people that we were already missing because they left, people were calling in. And so there was very few people working at one time with very high patient volume, and it was extremely overwhelming and very stressful. And everyone was feeling the stress. Everyone was extremely negative. Like, anytime I would go in there, I would try to be super positive, and my attitude would just flip because I guess I'm the kind of person that just soaks up everyone else's energy. And so when they're negative, it kind of just like makes me be negative, and it was just a really toxic environment after a while. And I would come home and I would just complain, and I would just be like a miserable person. Like, I wouldn't want to go to work. When I would come home, I would be so exhausted. I would literally just make dinner, eat, and then I would pass out. Like, I didn't have a day. Like, I would be gone the entire day, and then when I would come home, I would just have nothing left to my day, basically. So I would only really be living on the 3 days that I had off, and it was just, I felt like I had no time to do anything that I really wanted to do. I felt like I really wanted to work on my YouTube channel, and I wasn't able to really put the effort into it that I want to. But I also am the kind of person that is terrified of change. Like, I was fully prepared to just be miserable in this job for like the rest of my life. Like, let's be honest. As much as I complained and I would talk about how much I wanted to quit like every single day, I didn't think I would actually have the guts to do it. Like, I just figured I would be complaining about wanting to quit every single day, and I would just stay there forever. So at the company that I work at, we get annual raises. So in the area that I live, we get a cost of living raise of about 3%, and then a merit increase. So that's like, if you do good and you deserve a raise, that's what you get, right? So I had a talk with my supervisor, and she told me that she was very impressed how I have stepped up and shown leadership and just have really excelled. And honestly, that's because nobody wants to work. We're extremely short-staffed, and I felt like I had no other choice but to like step up. And she was telling me how happy she was, and that she was talking to, you know, her bosses about how happy she was that I've stepped up and I've done all this stuff. I actually became what they call a safety coach, because one of my other coworkers was a safety coach and she needed a backup and nobody wanted to do it. So I stepped up and I would help her with that. So that's an extra responsibility that I had, for no extra pay, of course. And she would slowly like be giving me more responsibilities but I would get no extra pay for any of these responsibilities. She wanted me to become a certified preceptor to train all the new employees that come in. And do you get paid extra for that? No. And so when I talked to her about my raise, she was telling me all these great things. She wants to eventually bump me up to a lead position when it's available. She wants me to succeed into leadership eventually, yada, 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 all that stuff, right? So obviously my review was good. She says she was very happy. She hands me the paper that has my raise on it, and I go on my way, right? So I look at it. It was like 50 cents. On our computer system, you can see like your pay rate history. So it tells you like the percentage raise that you get, and that 50 cents was like 3%. So that was just cost of living. So I actually went back and I talked to her and I asked her, hey, like I was under the impression that the cost of living was 3%. So shouldn't I be getting like the merit increase on top of that? And she had to go talk to HR and see if she could fix it and whatnot. But the fact that she knew, when she gave that to me, she knew it was only 3%. And she said all that stuff about how I'm taking all this extra responsibility, how she wants to eventually have me go further in the company, and yet when I'm getting my annual raise, I'm getting 50 cents. Like, just cost of living, when other people who have been there for a year, 2 years are making more than I am. And I was just getting fed up with it. I feel like we work so hard and we get paid like garbage. Like, you could see on all of my monthly budgets that I make $1,100 every 2 weeks. Like, that might sound like a lot for some people in some areas, but in Northern California, that's nothing. Like, I make nothing. And I was honestly super hopeful that I would have a really good raise this year because I felt like I really earned it. And that didn't happen. So that was just another thing to just like really upset me and make me want to leave this company. So that was on my Friday. So I ended up going home. I had a talk with Roger, which is my fiance. And we discussed options because at that point I was just so done. I just didn't want to work there anymore. I told him, you know, I'm done. I want to leave. Like, I just can't do it anymore. I'm overworked. I'm exhausted. I'm miserable. And I'm obviously not important enough to give an actual raise to. So that night I did a lot of thinking, and I just came to the conclusion that night that I was done. So me quitting my job was very impulsive. It was very on a whim. I obviously have been thinking about quitting for a long time, but like I said, I didn't think I would actually go through with it. So I decided that night that I was gonna leave. And so I spent that weekend. I wasn't gonna make any, like, I was not gonna put in my 2 weeks or like say anything about me leaving until I had like a backup plan like in place. But I had decided that I was gonna leave. So that weekend I went and I was looking for a new job, and lo and behold, I got one right away. So that Sunday I went back to work. I put in my 2 weeks, and I didn't tell anyone. I didn't tell anyone until like 2 days before my last day. I didn't get a single good luck, goodbye, anything like that from her. I put in my 2 weeks. She told me that she thought I was making a bad decision and I was throwing my career away. And after I said, this is my decision, she didn't say anything else. I got nothing from her. Putting in my 2 weeks notice was probably one of the scariest things I have ever done in my entire life. I was shaking. I was so scared. I knew that's what I wanted to do. but I was so scared that I was going to be making the wrong decision. Like, the biggest thing, like, I knew I wasn't making very much money there. Like, I knew that was horrible pay for a ton of work. However, the benefits, I can't deny, the benefits were amazing. Like, I had pretty much free healthcare, free dental, free vision for me and my whole family. So I think I paid a total of $13 out of pocket for all of my benefits combined. So, like, the benefits were amazing, and I was terrified of giving that up. But honestly, putting that 2-week notice in was a huge weight off my chest. I just instantly felt relieved, like, so much better. So I've officially been at my new job for a week now, and I'm so much happier there. You will see in my budgets to come that my income is going to probably fluctuate quite a bit, but I should be making a lot more money than I was before, and I'll be working a lot less. And so it was very stressful because I had to figure out a whole plan. So I am very grateful that I found a new job that was going to pay well right away. However, this new job does not have any benefits. So in my budget with me videos, you're going to see now that I have to pay for benefits. So I'm going to have to be paying for medical. I'm going to have to be paying for dental. All of that fun stuff. So that all was very stressful to kind of find insurance on my own and figure out all of this stuff that I'm now going to have to do on my own. And I'm still kind of trying to figure everything out. I didn't really, obviously, like I said, I did not plan on this happening. It was very quick. Like, I decided I was gonna quit on my Friday, and on my Monday I put in my 2 weeks notice. Like, this all happened very fast. So I don't recommend making a decision off of emotion like that extremely fast. For me, it did work out. Like, I'm much happier now, and I'm so glad that I did make that decision. I think that was really the push that I needed to realize that that's not where I wanted to be anymore. And I'm lucky that my fiance was extremely supportive and supported my decision and is helping me through this entire process. It's just a big change. The whole time when I would think about quitting my job, I would just think like, oh, once I can make it full-time on YouTube, then, because that's my goal. My goal is to be able to make it full-time on YouTube. Like, I love YouTube. This is very fun for me. I just feel like I haven't been able to put as much effort into it as I wanted to because I really didn't have very much time. But now hopefully I'm going to be having a lot more time and I can put a lot more effort into my videos. But that would always be what I would tell myself. It's like, once I can make YouTube my full-time job, that's when I'll quit. And I would just suffer being miserable that whole time until I can make it on YouTube. And I'm very glad that I did not do that, and I ended up just putting my happiness first, even though it was probably the scariest thing that I've ever done in my entire life. So anyway, this video is probably getting extremely long and extremely rambly. I just wanted to let all of you guys know, especially those of you that do follow my debt-free journey, you are going to be seeing that my income is changing, and that is because I quit my job and I got a new one. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for supporting me. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.